Imagine this. It is a Tuesday morning. You walk to your mailbox. Between the grocery flyer and the electric bill, there is a letter from the Social Security Administration. You open it, and your stomach drops. The letter says you have been overpaid. Thousands of dollars, maybe tens of thousands. And then it says this: if you do not respond within 30 days, the SSA will automatically take 50% of your monthly Social Security check. Half your income. Gone. You did nothing wrong. You never asked for extra money. But now your rent, your medications, your groceries, all of it is suddenly at risk. This is not a hypothetical. This is happening to seniors across America right now. But here is what the SSA does not make obvious in that letter. There is one specific government form that can stop the withholding completely. Not reduce it, stop it. While your case is reviewed. I am Milena. I am a senior policy analyst specializing in retirement finance and Social Security rules. And in this video, I am going to walk you through exactly what this overpayment letter means, why so many seniors are receiving it right now, and, most importantly, the 3 forms you need to know about that can protect your benefits. Stay with me until the end, because at the 8-minute mark, I'm going to explain a mistake that thousands of seniors make with this letter, a mistake that costs them every legal protection they have. And once that window closes, there is no going back. Let me start by telling you what happened to Robert. Robert is 67 years old. He retired 2 years ago from a manufacturing company outside of Pittsburgh. He worked 41 years. He paid into Social Security his entire adult life. When he retired, Robert did everything right. He applied for benefits through the SSA website. He chose to file at his full retirement age. His monthly benefit was $2,100. For the first 18 months, everything was fine. The check arrived on time, every month, like clockwork. Then one day, Robert gets a letter from the Social Security Administration. The letter says the SSA made an error when calculating his benefit. For the past 18 months, he was paid $230 more per month than he was supposed to receive. That adds up to over $4,000. The letter tells Robert he must repay the full amount within 30 days, or the SSA will begin withholding 50% of his monthly check. Robert is confused. He never asked for extra money. He had no way of knowing the amount was wrong. He trusted the government's own calculation. But here is where Robert made his mistake. He assumed it was a scam. He thought, no government agency would just take half my check. This cannot be real. So he set the letter aside. He did not call the SSA. He did not file any forms. 31 days later, Robert's next Social Security deposit hit his bank account. It was $1,050, half of what he expected. Robert panicked. He called the SSA. He waited on hold for over 2 hours. When he finally got through, the representative told him the 30-day window had passed. Withholding had already begun. And now his only option was to request a reduction in the withholding rate, not to stop it entirely. If Robert had filed one specific form within that 30-day window, the SSA would not have been allowed to withhold a single dollar until they reviewed his case. Let me show you exactly how this works. Here is what is happening, and why. The Social Security Administration is required by law to recover overpayments. If they paid you more than you were supposed to receive, even if it was their mistake, they must get that money back. That is federal law. Now, how much they withhold has changed multiple times in the last 2 years. Let me walk you through the timeline so you understand where we are today. Before March of 2024, the default withholding rate was 100%. That meant if you were overpaid, the SSA could take your entire monthly check until the debt was repaid. In March 2024, that rate was lowered to just 10%, a major relief for seniors. Then, on March 7, 2025, the SSA announced it was going back to 100% withholding. There was an enormous public backlash. Advocacy groups like AARP called it punitive and unfair. Congress members raised concerns. So on April 25, 2025, the SSA issued an emergency message to all field offices. The new default withholding rate was set at 50% of your monthly benefit. That is where we stand today, 50%. Let me put this in real numbers. If your monthly Social Security benefit is $2,000 and you receive an overpayment notice and you do nothing, the SSA will begin taking $1,000 from your check every single month until the overpayment is fully recovered. If you were overpaid $10,000, that means 10 months of half checks. If you were overpaid $30,000, which does happen, that could mean 2.5 years of living on half your income. Now, here is what most people do not know. The SSA's own Inspector General reported in July 2024 that improper payments, the wrong amount going to the wrong person, make up less than 1% of all benefits paid. And many of those errors are the agency's fault, not yours. But even when the SSA makes the error, you are still on the hook, unless you take action. And this is where the forms come in. There are 3 forms that can protect you. I want you to write these down, or screenshot this part of the video right now. Form number 1, SSA 632BK. This is the request for waiver of overpayment recovery. This is the most powerful form. If you file this form, you are asking the SSA to forgive the overpayment entirely, to waive it, to say, you do not owe us anything. For this to be approved, 2 things must be true. First, the overpayment was not your fault, and second, paying it back would be unfair or would cause you financial hardship. And here is the critical part. If you file this form within 30 days of receiving your overpayment notice, the SSA cannot collect a single dollar from you while your case is under review. Collection is frozen. The SSA's own website says it clearly, and I quote, "If you ask for a waiver or appeal within 30 days, we won't collect the money until we decide on your request." End quote. That is the form that could have saved Robert. That is the form that stops the 50% cut before it starts. You can file it online through your My Social Security account. You can download it from SSA Gov and fax or mail it to your local office. Or you can call 1-800-772-1213 and ask to process it over the phone. Form number 2, SSA 561. This is the request for reconsideration. Use this form if you disagree that you were overpaid at all, or if you believe the amount the SSA says you owe is wrong. This is your formal appeal. You have 60 days from the date you receive the overpayment notice to file this form. And for SSI recipients, filing within 60 days means your current payments continue without any reduction until the SSA makes a decision. Form number 3, SSA 634. This is the request for change in overpayment recovery rate. Use this form if you accept that you were overpaid and you are willing to pay it back, but 50% is simply too much. You cannot cover rent. You cannot cover your medications. You need the withholding rate lowered. This form can be filed at any time. There is no strict deadline, but the sooner you file it, the sooner the SSA can reduce your monthly withholding to an amount you can actually survive on. Now let me tell you what happens if you do nothing at all. If you ignore the letter or throw it away thinking it is a scam, here is what the SSA is legally authorized to do. After 30 days, 50% of your monthly benefit is withheld automatically. If they determine fraud, 100% of your benefit can be withheld. Your entire check, gone. If you stop receiving benefits entirely, the SSA can seize your federal tax refund. They can garnish your wages. They can intercept certain state payments, and if you pass away before the debt is repaid, the SSA can pursue repayment from your surviving spouse or anyone receiving benefits based on your work record. This is not something you can ignore. This is not something that goes away on its own. So here is your action plan. 3 steps. Write these down. Step 1. Do not ignore any letter from the Social Security Administration. I know there are scams out there. I know you have been told to be careful. But legitimate SSA overpayment notices arrive by regular U.S. mail. They include your claim number. They include a specific dollar amount and explanation. If you are unsure whether a letter is real, call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. Do not call any number printed on a letter you suspect is fake. Use only the official number. But do not throw that letter away, because your 30-day clock starts the moment it is dated. Step 2. File Form SSA 632BK within 30 days. If you believe the overpayment was not your fault, and for most seniors it is not, file the waiver immediately. You do not need a lawyer. You do not need to pay anyone. You can do this yourself online, by mail, by fax, or by phone. The moment the SSA receives your waiver request, they are legally prohibited from withholding any money from your check until they make a decision. That is your shield. Use it. If you do not believe you were overpaid at all, file Form SSA 561 instead. You have 60 days for that one. And if you do owe the money but cannot survive on half your check, file Form SSA 634 to request a lower recovery rate. Step 3. Keep copies of everything, every letter you receive, every form you file, every confirmation number, every phone call. Write down the date, the time, and the name of the representative you spoke with. If the SSA makes an error in processing your waiver or appeal, your documentation is your proof. Without it, you have nothing to fall back on. Let me repeat the most important point of this entire video. You have 30 days from the date on your overpayment notice to file a waiver or appeal. If you file within that window, the SSA cannot take a single dollar from your check while your case is being reviewed. If you miss that window, the 50% withholding begins automatically, and getting it reversed after that is much, much harder. 30 days. That is your deadline. Mark it on your calendar the moment you open that letter. Now I want to talk to you about something important. Rules like this change quickly. The withholding rate went from 10% to 100% to 50% in the span of 1 year. New emergency messages are issued, deadlines shift, and the SSA does not send you a friendly reminder. They send you a notice and your clock starts. YouTube notifications are not reliable enough for this. The algorithm decides what you see and when you see it. You might miss the one video that could save your benefits. That is why I created something specifically for people like you. In the description below this video, there is a link to join the Global Senior Alerts official WhatsApp channel. When you join, you will receive real-time alerts whenever there is a major change to Social Security rules, Medicare policies, pension laws, bank regulations, or travel rules that affect seniors and retirees. You will also get a free download of my Senior Benefits Protection Guide. It includes every form number, every deadline, and every phone number you need, all in one place. You can print it out and keep it next to your important documents. This is not a paid service. There is no subscription. It is simply a channel where I send you the information you need when you need it before it is too late. The link is in the description, right below this video. Join now while it is still on your mind. And if you know another senior, a friend, a spouse, a parent, a neighbor who receives Social Security, please share this video with them. They may have already received this letter and not known what to do. You could be the reason they keep their full benefit check next month. I am Milena. I will see you in the next video. Stay informed. Stay protected.